What's going on, y'all? Rob Anderson, Clean Power Wash, cleanpowerwash.com. Want to talk about the future opportunity of emergency calls. This goes back to a couple of things. First and foremost, on your website, on your Facebook, I would highly recommend that you always have it listed saying 24 hours. Open 24 hours a day. Because if I'm looking for a service company and it's Saturday, whether I need them right then or I'm just thinking about, I want to use them later on in the week, I'm more likely to click on that one that says open than the one that says closed. Especially when I see something that says we're just open from 9 to 5. Oh, that must be nice. You're a service company, only open for the basic hours. But so we say that ours is 24 hours. Are we working at 2 or 3 in the morning? No, not usually, but if somebody paid me enough money, you know what, we'd be out there. And I think that'd be the same for you too. So we got a call or message this weekend from somebody else on Facebook, another local contractor. Said, hey, I just got this call. Commercial job. Needs a, last minute commercial cleaning. Wasn't like some disaster spill or something like that, but one of those things where it's a big corporation. They're going to have people come out, do inspections and whatnot, and they need it to look good. This is Saturday at about 11:30. I still have my sons with me. Wife's at home with the girls. And I said, you know what, go ahead and send them my way. I'll jump all over this. I'll figure out, see, at the very least, find out what needs to be done, then see what we can do to get it done. So, get in touch with the guy, or he calls me, gives me this scope. Ended up being a little over $1,000. And the $1,000 is great. I spent an evening, basically left home at about a little bit before 1 o'clock. Got back at about 11:15. Place an hour and 15 minutes away. Had some vehicle fun on my way there and back. But I explained to my kids, and I hope you guys understand this too. While the money that you make today is important, the money that you make on that particular job is great. What you make long term, and in that situation on a commercial job, if they're in a bind and they need help right then and there, your ability to jump on that opportunity to get in the door, already helping them out of a situation that could impact somebody's appraisal, impact their marks or their score or future promotion or any of that stuff, gives us that opportunity to get in with that company. And you should always jump on those. Does that mean that you cancel all your plans because XYZ company calls? Hey, they might want to have you come out there and have me drive this hour and a half away or whatever to do this job, and their budget's only $400. Sorry, Charlie, I'm not coming out there for that. I'm not going to give up my evening, not going to drive that far, take that time for that kind of money. But for what we were able to do, what we were able to get paid for it. And then I also knew that based off of the scope that he was giving me, and I'm looking at this massive complex, I know there's a ton more work that can be done there. There's a ton more money. And it's also, it's a processing facility. So they're going to constantly be dirty, constantly need future maintenance cleanings. I know they're getting inspected all the time, so they'll be needing these areas. And it was crazy to watch, even just what I'd cleaned, how fast some of the spots got dirty already just from then. So he's like, we may have you out next week again. We went ahead and bid another, I went ahead and bid another $3 or $4 grand in work for that next service call, for the one that they want to get all their concrete done. And if we have 2 guys on there, if we know ahead of time, it's a good money client. And it's also a company that has access all over our area, tons of other locations, and it was an opportunity to get in there. And I explained to my kids too that it wasn't just about the fact that it is about the money, but it's more about that opportunity to get way more money than what we're going to make today. And just keep that in perspective, guys. When you're deciding whether or not to sacrifice that one evening, I'd spent the morning with my son. I spent or Sunday evening with the rest of the family. I took one of my daughters out today, for lunch and stuff. Because of that money, there's always time. Don't make that choice every single time to give up time with your family. But man, don't pass up opportunities when those things come in. We had another property manager that hadn't given us the go-ahead on some other work, but we'd given him bids for like 4 or 5 projects, and then he had an emergency grease spill, which you guys have probably seen that video. Getting in there right away, we were on site within an hour, cleaned up that mess, got it so that when the city came out because of this oil spill or this grease spill, they already see actions being taken. They're more likely to be, lenient on this person or help it go away and be better. It's that whole law of reciprocity. We did something good for them. We helped them out. They want to help us out. And in most situations with things like this with commercial, it's not really their money. They're just managing somebody else's or managing the company's money on that. So anyways, have a great evening, and jump on those opportunities when they come out. See ya.